Hello everyone, welcome back, and we are about to begin, I think, the 5th Swifts round of the 3rd Singapore Open held over here in Jurong Spring Community Club. Finally nailed that. I believe this time we'll be seeing a match played between Benjamin Tan and Martin Teo. Both players who have only really made their mark on the VGC scene this year, but have certainly made a mark. Even though this is their first year debuting here.
Yeah.
Benjamin, I believe, was at one point 4th or 3rd in the Asia Pacific region in terms of CP standings, right up to the Melbourne Internationals a few months ago. And Martin, although he hasn't really performed in any significant internationals event like Benjamin, who actually finished 33rd in Melbourne, barely missing out on day 2. Martin has actually finished, I believe, in the top cut of a few tournaments, both here in Singapore and Malaysia.
At regionals, Martin was top 4, and in one of the opens in Malaysia, he actually got like top like also one of the top 8, top 4 winners.
Yeah, but most significant about Martin is definitely his unorthodox team choices.
Yeah.
Throughout all these events
and
at which he has performed well at, he's been using pretty interesting stuff.
And Martin Teo's signature Pokemon, Carcosta.
Yeah, Caracosta and I believe Gengar as well tends to form the basis of his teams, which are both Pokemon that are not commonly used in this format, but definitely have a bit of a niche somewhere. And Martin has shown that he's very eager and very able to capitalize on their niches. Benjamin, on the other hand, not exactly a player who's known for his attachment towards a certain team or archetype. He tends to play with whatever he feels like and deems best in the metagame at that point. So quite eager to see what he's packing today as well, since we haven't actually seen him play in Singapore for quite a while.
Yeah, as he actually flew back to Norway for like a month or two, and he's currently back to compete in Singapore again.
Definitely hoping to push for that day 2 invitation, which has temporarily escaped him, but isn't exactly too far off either. I believe that if he does well enough today, he could very well take it home, and he's performed quite well in a few past events. He's a regular frequenter of the top cut, both in Premier Challengers and I
the
think
last time he competed in Singapore was in one of our PC, and he actually attained top 8 or top 4 back then.
Yeah, definitely a face to watch out for, and someone that's probably going to be a bit scary for Martin to face, given how Martin's performance hasn't exactly been too consistent, despite him occasionally breaking out very well. I actually see team preview there, not sure why the stream's not up yet, but should be here shortly. Running out of things to say already. Okay, looks like we're going to have team preview up, and we're going to see the players' teams. Martin here with Tapu Lele, Porygon 2, Arcanine, Caracosta, Gengar, and Parasect. So one more additional quirky little Parasect there to top off his already unorthodox core of Caracosta and Gengar. Well, on Benjamin's side, we also see a very interesting team of
Arcanine, Gengar, Arcanine, Garchomp, Buzzwole, Gigalith, Nihilego, and Braviary.
All mons that we do see fairly frequently in this format, just not together. They tend to be like Pokemon like Nihilego and Braviary tend to be that one quirky mon that kind of makes a team stand out above the rest. You never really see them put together on the same team, yeah.
And especially with Braviary, with the Defiant, it's actually quite significant, as a lot of teams now all run Arcanine, and the plus 1 boost that it gets from Intimidate will put the opponent in a very like nervous position, as they might not know how to deal with it.
I really wonder how this matchup is going to play out though. Both teams are not exactly what we're used to seeing, so in my mind right now it's really hard to envision what exactly is going to happen here. At first glance, I guess Nihilego looks like a pretty good choice for Benjamin, since it's able to hit quite a lot of Martin's Pokemon for super effective damage, on top of resisting Gengar's more powerful Sludge Bomb.
And you also realize that Benjamin doesn't carry any Tapu at all.
Quite unusual in this format. I guess Nihilego being his like counter Tapu measure really, since it is really good at fighting against all 4 of the Tapus in this format thanks to its poison type. Okay, looks like we're going to jump in, and we do see Martin begin with Gengar and Caracosta, while Benjamin's going to lead with Braviary and Garchomp. Braviary and Garchomp quite a solid lead, with seen some players use to reasonably good effect, because of how Braviary is immune to Garchomp's Earthquake, and threatens with Defiant as well, deterring an Arcanine switch in to neuter Garchomp's attacks.
I mean, I would say Gengar was also immune to Garchomp. However, with the Gen 7 nerf, Gengar is now not Levitate and is Cursed Body.
Yeah, a big part of why Gengar hasn't seen much usage this year, despite being a stellar choice the last few years of VGC. Plus, of course, how Nihilego tends to do its job just much better right now.
Gengar opts to switch out and Porygon 2 comes in. Perhaps Martin opts for a more for the Trick Room option rather than going on head-on against Benjamin's Pokemon.
Relatively smart play to make as well, since the Earthquake coming off was quite obvious, and Porygon 2 should be able to hold its own against Braviary and Garchomp reasonably well, which would allow Martin to perhaps get up Trick Room next turn quite comfortably.
Costa does go for the Z water move here. The Hydro Vortex will go into presumably perhaps the Braviary to get rid of it with the one-hit KO, or into the Garchomp.
It's a bit hard to call here since both would be logical options,
yes.
And we're gonna see it go into Braviary.
Perhaps securing the one-hit KO.
Should knock it out unless Braviary is holding a Focus Sash, which I don't think is a very common item. Oh, apparently not. Guess I'm overestimating Caracosta's physical attack there. Too used to doing calculations with a Raconate, really.
However, Caracosta now has the option to Aqua Jet into the Braviary and take it out from there. However, Garchomp still poses as a threat, and will take out Caracosta this turn should it not go for the Protect.
I think Martin needs to make the call of Benjamin's Garchomp's item. A lot of Braviary teams tend to run Choice Scarf Garchomp. At least the few Braviary teams that we've seen circulate the internet tend to run Choice Scarf Garchomp. So if it is, I guess he could sacrifice Caracosta quite willingly here and just go for the Trick Room, which but then again, he doesn't exactly have a lot of Pokemon to capitalize on Trick Room outside of Caracosta. Parasect isn't going to cut it here, obviously.
Parasect is more of a support variant Pokemon more than of a physical.
We don't see Aqua Jet though, and Earthquake is going to come off, and that's going to take out Caracosta and do a little bit of damage to Porygon 2, which I think might be dangerous because Braviary does have access to Superpower, which would definitely knock out Porygon 2 at this range.
However, Braviary just go for the Flanium Z.
Sonic Sky Strike, I believe.
Yes, onto the Porygon 2 slot. Perhaps Benjamin was fearing that Brave Bird wasn't enough, or perhaps he didn't have the superpower and want to guarantee the KO.
Yeah, Super Sonic Sky Strike is definitely going to do the job here, and would have done the job, I think, even from a bit over half health, I believe, from my calculations previously. And that's going to set Martin back quite a lot here. We still don't really have any clear indication of what Garchomp's item is. I think that will be Martin's objective for the rest of this game, really, because he's in a really bad position right now.
However, it's also very difficult for him to pinpoint the item right now because Braviary just have the Tailwind up, and right now the supposedly faster Gengar will be outsped by the Garchomp thanks to Tailwind, regardless being Scarf or not.
I really wonder whether he'll even have enough time to figure it out from there then, since I think still 1 or 2 turns left of Tailwind left.
The offensive pressure that Benjamin does have on the field really does pin both of Martin's Pokemon down.
Yeah, Martin not even going to protect here, just letting Earthquake go off. Perhaps he's hoping to trade blows and take out Garchomp this turn.
Gengar does reveal the Focus Sash, and perhaps he may want to have the Hidden Power Ice or the Dazzling Gleam onto the Garchomp.
Just an interesting note there though, Benjamin's reaction to Earthquake being disabled might actually give the clearest indication yet that his Garchomp is holding the Choice Scarf really. Since I don't think another player would be too concerned if his Garchomp had Earthquake disabled, should he be able to switch moves.
Yes, and now if Garchomp is really the Choice Scarf, it'll be forced to struggle because it will not have any moves left. Yeah,
or it will be forced to switch out, which both cases would perhaps reveal a bit more information than Benjamin hopes. Quite an unusual situation here. You never really see this happening with... I mean, Curse Body itself is a rare ability. But good example of perhaps, how you should play information games a bit more cautiously. Regardless, that was quite a brutal beatdown from Benjamin onto Martin.
I think this is only the third turn.
Have we even seen Tailwind expire?
I don't think Tailwind has expired yet. So, Benjamin clearly destroying Martin right there.
I guess Martin showing the downside, this match showing the downside of running a team like Martin's, which kind of relies on the element of surprise. Should your opponent not really fall for it, or should your secret tricks not really overwhelm your opponent enough, it's very easy for things to just go the other way.
Yes, and like judging from Martin's team, perhaps especially like the things like Gengar, which specializes in killing Tapus because of its fast and is a poison type. Caracosta may deal with common traits like Arcanine, which both of its stab can do huge damage to it. And especially with the sturdy ability, you can at least take one move and then fire back with a very powerful Hydro Vortex. So perhaps Martin team is a very niche kind of team that deals with the current meta, which Benjamin team isn't.
That's a very interesting way to frame it, yes. Probably Martin just playing a really anti-meta team that just doesn't work against Benjamin's team, which is anything but meta. Not really that far from the meta, but at the same time, its composition is just
Yes,
very unusual.
Like the 6 Pokemon are in a meta, it's just that, like you said before, it wasn't put together.
Yeah, so probably gonna have to see how Martin chooses to switch things up. If he fails to adjust properly, this could be a very, another very brutal beatdown, really.
Yeah.
Garchomp and Bravery just did so much work for Benjamin last game.
Yeah.
Okay, Martin going with Tapu Lele and Porygon 2. Probably one of his safer lead options against the Bravery Garchomp combination.
Perhaps Martin right now would just wants to go for the trick room right now and adjust and pivot from there.
Question though is, will he be able to get it off? Because I believe I have seen calculations before that indicate that Superpower or either Superpower or Supersonic Sky Strike when combined with Garchomp's Earthquake at neutral attack are actually enough to knock out most Porygon 2 builds.
Well, that's
Yeah, that would be really tough for Martin if that's the case. My memory's a bit hazy with regards to that.
and right now we shall see, but however, Garchomp switches out into Gigalith, predicting the trick room from the Porygon 2.
Yeah, Benjamin probably knowing well himself whether that calculation holds true here and perhaps choosing not to risk it, knowing that it might not work out for him.
However, Psychic does come out, can Bravery take it? And barring a critical hit, unfortunately for Benjamin, Bravery just does go down and Martin doesn't go for the trick room here.
I actually don't think the critical hit method, Bravery isn't exactly the bulkiest of Pokemon, and it tends to need a bit of speed investment to work in this meta. So perhaps my method, perhaps not. Also depends a bit on Martin's item, on his Tapu Lele. I'm very confident that Troy Specs Tapu Lele would have taken that out there.
Yes. And now Nihilego does come in here. If the thing is that if like in both situations where Porygon 2 doesn't go for the trick room or goes for the trick room, Tapu Lele will still get pinned down as Gigalith does carry the potential heavy slam, and then at neutral, most of the time Gigalith are able to take out Tapu Lele. But right now, Nihilego does pin down the Tapu Lele. So at this, I think Martin should opt to switch out the Tapu Lele here and to prevent it dying.
Yeah, Nihilego is one of those Pokemon you don't want to let set up because its special attack can snowball out of control really easily.
Thanks to the Beast Boost.
Yeah, like how Katana's attacks can snowball very quickly. Martin here choosing to switch out Tapu Lele, not letting it get a boost, possibly get a boost, and revealing the life orb actually, which is crucial because that I believe does allow Nihilego to ensure the KO onto Tapu Lele. And Benjamin reveals his Gigalith to be a running curse.
Perhaps it is holding the Pinch Berry.
Yeah.
As right now the Ice Beam didn't really hit the Gigalith into the Pinch Berry range. However, another Ice Beam would definitely proc the assumed berry that is holding.
Yeah, you have to assume that it's holding a Pinch Berry, and it's good because another Ice Beam would allow that. But I'm not sure how much Gigalith can actually do to Caracosta right now.
And especially it is now slower.
I guess Gigalith could possibly reveal Earthquake at this point. Of course, not while Nihilego is exposed over there, but I really wonder even whether a boosted Earthquake would be enough. Nihilego is going to protect here, so we might see an Earthquake now, or is it just going to be a rock move?
Caracosta does go for the protect on its own.
Yeah.
And Porygon 2 does go for the Ice Beam onto the Gigalith slot again. Will we see the berry?
Or is it enough to KO at this point?
Oh,
Barely hangs on.
It was very close and the berry does proc.
Oh, Trick Room not being up though still is a really awkward position for Martin.
I would say that
I think he really wants to get Trick Room out at this point since Caracosta can pin down Nihilego so strongly.
I think Caracosta itself really pins down Nihilego as thanks to the Sandstorm boost, Nihilego is not going to do a lot with both its step. And Caracosta can easily KO Nihilego with a waterfall and not even need a Z move because Nihilego just really that frail physically.
Starting to wonder whether Aqua Jet will do the job actually. Nihilego's defenses really being...
I think that's really just exaggerating though.
No, Nihilego really living out to its or design concept of being a glass cannon.
Glass cannon.
Gigalith gonna protect here, fearing the water move from Caracosta, I imagine, and Nihiligo's gonna fire off a Power Gem. I don't think that's gonna KO Caracosta though, and that could potentially give Martin a free attack onto it right now. Are we gonna see it?
As we see the Z move coming out, will it go into the Nihilego or the Gigalith?
I have to think Nihilego hoping to catch it. Actually, no, it protected last turn, so that's a bit. No, we'll see. We have to see where it goes. Either way, Actually, I guess Martin really wants it to go into Nihiligo right now, given the situation.
Yes,
It
does.
is going to, which is good for him since.
Perhaps Martin doesn't trust that Waterfall is enough to kill Nihilego.
Yeah. No, actually, I believe that he's probably running his Water Z move off Liquidation.
Oh, Liquidation,
Since Caracosta does get
yes.
that, yeah. Totally forgivable. No one knows what this thing runs, man. Yeah. Porygon 2 could recover all the way back to full HP as well, which is pretty good. Martin really making the most of this turn. Benjamin kind of falling into his trap by going for the protect with Gigalith there, not getting anything done.
And right now Garchomp comes in, but Gigalith can go for the White Guard play, which will protect itself from Garchomp's spread move. However, Garchomp will take a lot of damage from the Ice Beam that Porygon 2 carries.
Yeah.
And once Garchomp goes down, Gigalith will have to fight all four of Martin's Pokemon.
Yeah, we really don't know what item Benjamin's Garchomp is running yet. That could be big. Could be good to know. I guess this confirms that it's not holding a Z Crystal.
Oh, however, Benjamin's Garchomp avoided an attack. Perhaps
Ice
it's Sandveil and not the rough skin.
Quite a common choice on teams these days that have both Gigalith and Garchomp on them.
But however, Sandstorm has subsided and Benjamin will not benefit from the Sandveil anymore.
Yeah, but we did just see last turn over there while we were talking. Martin's Porygon 2 took a critical hit Rock Slide.
Yes,
which actually does. It's probably really changes things right now because it brings Martin's Porygon 2 down to not just an opportunity to get flinch, but really into KO range of another double Rock Slide.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really, yeah, and now we see the Rock Slide coming out. And Porygon 2 does survive the first one.
So Porygon 2 has to go for an Ice Beam here. If he went for Trick Room, Martin would have lost a lot. But nope, we do see Ice Beam coming off. I think that's going to take out Garchomp because it got a special attack boost earlier in the game, which it does.
And right now, it's Gigalith against the world.
Outside of Sandstorm to add, so not a good position for Gigalith at all.
With a Psychic Terrain up.
Yeah. No way Benjamin's bringing this back anymore. Not even with Psychic Terrain wearing out really, since Gigalith has had its HP brought down to the point where it would get knocked out even outside of Psychic Terrain, I believe.
And that's his game for Benjamin.
Not quite sure what went wrong there really. Since we can't really pin it down to Benjamin letting Trick Room get up. It's just Porygon 2, I guess, getting a special attack boost and gradually overwhelming Benjamin's team.
It's the Ice Beam pressure that Porygon 2 provides that pins down the Garchomp, and Garchomp can't really do what it did in the first game where it just dominated everything by just off-clicking, and by the time Porygon 2 came in, it was already too late, and Benjamin managed to pin down Porygon 2 in game 1, which he didn't this game.
Benjamin possibly underestimating Caracosta as well, since we saw him quite happily bringing both Gigalith and Nihiligo at the same time, only to get pinned down terribly by Caracosta.
Yes, and not realizing that thanks to the Sandstorm that his Gigalith provided, Caracosta is much more bulkier thanks to the special defense boost that Sandstorm provides for rock, steel, and ground type Pokemon.
And we still haven't seen any indication whether Benjamin's Gigalith actually has access to Earthquake, so that could be big if he actually is able to get it off
so right now
against Caracosta.
Yeah, Benjamin's Gigalith carries Curse, Rock Slide.
I think we've seen Protect and
Protect, and the last
nothing
move.
more. That's that move that most Gigalith players tend to switch up. Whole lot of options available there.
Like White Guard, Heavy
Slam, Stone Edge even.
Stone Edge,
yes.
So
it really comes down to the individual team.
So right now, one way that Benjamin can switch this up will be to get rid of the Porygon 2 as soon as possible, and not letting it pin down his Garchomp too hard.
Kind of wondering what his Buzzwole is doing though. You have to imagine that against a matchup like this, he would bring Buzzwole in at some point. Maybe we're gonna see it this game.
Yes.
Since he did overzealous with the Garchomp and Bravery lead, which did so much work in the first game.
Claiming up Martini less than 3 turns
before Tailwind expired, nonetheless.
So both players showing that that their team's uniqueness in a way, and that both teams actually have the potential to snowball each other.
I think it's worth noting though that we saw that Benjamin's Nihiligo was holding the Life Orb, which is a bit unusual because sitting next to a Gigalith, you would imagine that Nihiligo's running Trick Room, and I'm not sure how anyone has the guts to really play a Nihiligo with Trick Room that's not holding Focus Sash.
Benjamin is a man of a man.
Yeah, incredible, man. We do see him going with Bravery and Garchomp again though, not going to bring the Buzzwole lead as we speculated earlier. And Martin's going to lead with Porygon 2 and Parasect.
Interesting. And Parasect right now, however, it does really get pinned down by the flying move that Berry will fire, and it is revealed that the focus sash is on the Gengar, and which Parasect is times 4 weak to fighting, which will easily just dies to any flying move essentially.
I think Parasect's a really interesting Pokemon though. It has a whole lot of supportive options available.
Such
White Guard, Spore, Rage Powder. Both White Guard and Rage Powder in this format are very crucial moves, especially in matchups like these, in ensuring that Trick Room gets sets up. Martin could choose to go for either White Guard to kind of prevent Garchomp from getting off an Earthquake or Rock Slide, or going for the Rage Powder and sacrificing Parasect in exchange for another guaranteed Trick Room setup from Porygon 2. I have to imagine White Guard will actually be the safer play, since that deters gets rid of the possibility of Porygon 2 flinching the Rock Slide.
But Garchomp does have the Fire Fang, and just Fire Fang into the Parasect and just takes it out because Parasect is frail and it's times 4 weak to that fire type.
But he chooses to go for Tailwind instead, so if Porygon 2 gonna go for
an
a
Ice
Trick
Beam?
Room?
Yes, it does go for the Ice Beam onto the Garchomp and cleanly one hit KOs it.
I think Parasect having done his job there without even needing to press Rage Powder already. Since even if Martin had choose to let Garchomp live, he would have locked Garchomp into possibly locked, you don't really know his item yet for sure. Possibly locked Garchomp into Fire Fang, which wouldn't have been a very good move. But
however, now we just see the Basketball coming in, and
and
Benjamin hasn't blown his Z move yet. So perhaps this is the perfect opportunity to blow the Z move into the Porygon 2. Even though Carcosta is weak to fighting, it wouldn't be wise to do that, because that you will just go into Carcosta Sturdy.
And of course, it's assuming that Benjamin is aware of Sturdy though. Carcosta is a relatively niche mon. He might not be aware of that, but still have to imagine he'll go into the Porygon 2, right? But at the same time, it seems like a bit too obvious a play to make.
However, if Martin does switches out into Arcanine, it will give the Defiant boost.
Or he could switch into Tapu Lele now, which resisted, so yeah, very close call Martin has to make here. Could possibly just swing things around, or it could possibly just seal things here. Yeah.
The Flynium Z.
Supersonic Sky Strike. So I think that's gonna go into the Tapu Lele slot, and Tapu Lele is not gonna enjoy taking that at all.
Yes.
I guess that was a good play to make, since that the combination of Supersonic Sky Strike and a fighting move from Basketball would guarantee the KO on Porygon 2 as well, along with ensuring that some damage is done to the switch in. Could be Gengar, and which would still take a ton of damage, or Tapu Lele, which would also fall to Supersonic Sky Strike.
And Superpower does come out on to the Carcosta, and Carcosta does leave with 1 HP thanks to Sturdy. Not a very good position for Martin here at all, because of the offensive momentum that it just lost. Carcosta does go for the Shell Smash here. However, with Tailwind out, Carcosta can't really outspeed anything, even though he has a +2 speed, and the real deal here is that Carcosta is not the fastest Pokemon out there, even with a +2 speed.
Feels like a bit of a wasted opportunity, really. Martin could have gone for perhaps a Z Hydro Vortex.
Yeah.
He hasn't done his Z move yet. He could have gone for Hydro Vortex onto Basso that turn, which I think after Basso's defense would have taken it out. Yeah, but unfortunately instead, we see here where he opted for a Shell Smash that didn't really achieve anything, resulting in Benjamin still having the upper hand despite opening up a rather bad opportunity for Martin to come back.
Basketball chooses to switch out here into the Gigalith. Perhaps wanting to preserve the Basketball and refreshing its stats, because it already has a -1 in both its attack and defense.
And Bravery's gonna go for the Brave Bird. I think it's gonna go to Carcosta.
And yes, and picking off the 1 HP Carcosta.
And basically striking out any chance of Martin making a comeback here.
Yeah.
Kind of feel that Martin kind of played that not quite as optimally as he could. He could have preserved Carcosta better by and gone for a Trick Room endgame. I think that would be a pretty good position for him.
Yep.
Actually, would have been difficult to come back regardless, but I think that liquidation was a wasted opportunity.
And bring Parasect really doesn't provide any offensive pressure, as Parasect really did nothing that turn. And he didn't really capitalize off turn 1, which he can just Trick Room, and Garchomp will still regardlessly just dies, because Porygon 2 can just Ice Beam under Trick Room.
Yeah, Parasect running a Parasect without Focus Sash is itself a rather strange call, I guess, and didn't really pay off here as much as Martin would have probably hoped for. Benjamin just happily cursing away with Gigalith here, knowing he has plenty of turns to buy. Bit dangerous considering that Porygon 2 could freeze, but I guess the odds aren't exactly too high of that happening.
And And with a Basbo sitting at the back, you are not afraid of a normal type Orichalcon too.
Benjamin's really just waiting out this win at this point.
I mean, I guess Martin made the wrong move call on turn 1, which resulted in his loss.
Yeah, you could say that, yeah.
Because like as we see in round 2, he played well and he preserved Orichalcon 2 all the way, which against Benjamin's lead for the same lead for all 3 games. And he did prove that in game 2 what happened in game 2, and he cleanly win against Benjamin. However, but this game he didn't.
Martin probably just discounted the threat that Garchomp could pose with Fire Fang, perhaps getting a bit too confident there, thinking, oh, Garchomps these days don't they run ground moves, rock moves.
But coming from a you know a choice, assumed choice Garchomp, you would really want to factor in all the possible coverage move that Garchomp gets, like with like Poison Jet, Fire Fang, Ice Fang.
No, it doesn't get Ice Fang, unfortunately. Yeah, it would be hilarious. It's more like Iron Hit, Poison Jet, Fire Fang really. But even then, I guess that having Fire Fang isn't exactly a guaranteed move on Garchomp, so perhaps that's what Martin thought and chose to play with, but unfortunately didn't pay off and gives Benjamin a win here. Moving on to next round and with a 5-1 streak, I believe. No, a 4-1 streak. Sorry, yeah, we still have one more round left.
Both players did well in the games they've won, especially both players did exceptionally well, as they really showcases that how niche, how special their team can be, and how strong their team can be when played correctly. Yeah,
unfortunately though, I think it's a bit of a letdown in the sense that both players clearly have teams that were devised to take on the more standard picks, but unfortunately when faced up against each other, kind of highlight a lot of their shortcomings, which is how most of these anti-meta teams tend to function. They function very well in specific conditions against the very standard teams that we're used to seeing, but when pit, against other more unorthodox strategies, they don't tend to hold themselves together as well as a lot of the more standard tried and tested picks. Okay, I think we should be able to have Benjamin up for an interview shortly, so stay tuned, and I'm sure we're all eager to find out a bit more about his team there.
Okay. And we are back with our round 5 winner, Benjamin. Welcome back to Singapore.
Thank you.
What makes you okay, firstly, what makes you want to come back to play in Singapore again? Especially like when airfare isn't very cheap.
Yeah, I miss my home and I also miss the community here. And like it's gonna be the last tournament of the season, and the previous 2 open in Malaysia and Singapore, there's no top 16, like the CP, there's no top 16. So I feel very sorry for those people that got top 16 for both Malaysia and Singapore. And I thought that maybe if I come then I can raise the player cap like more, but instead I spent like thousands of dollars for nothing.
No lah, I wouldn't say for nothing. It's like it's a very honorable feat that you did that for the community, and that we really appreciate it that you came back, and then we are happy to see you again, of course.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Now what's the idea behind your team? It's a very unorthodox team with like Nihilego and Bravery, which we really don't see together in the same team. Like, what's the thought process behind it?
Oh, the idea is because like Arcanine is the main threat in the meta now. Like there's so much Arcanine, and then you have 2 options. It's either Milotic or Bravery. But usually Milotic they have bigger threat like Tapu Koko and Katana. But and the threat like Koko can just OHKO the Milotic with Thunderbolt, or Katana can just finish it with Leaf Blade. So I thought if I have Bravery and then pair with Scarf Garchomp like next to me, then I wouldn't have to fear Koko, and I can just
I see.
freely Earthquake and OHKO it.
Then it's like, why like what's the unique thought process behind the Life Out Nihilego? Like especially when you're running you have a Gigalith on your team, which
Yes.
we assume that you might actually carry the Trick Room to further support the Gigalith. Like what like having Life Out on it really just doesn't really
Make
like,
any sense?
yeah, not really any sense. It's more of like why it's like you will want it to survive longer in a way, like and Life Out does like literally kill yourself.
Because the main thing about the team is that I set up Tailwind, Scarf Garchomp sweep or no sweep, and then like if they KO my Garchomp, and I get to bring in the Nihilego with the life orb, and then I can just sweep under the Tailwind. Yeah.
I see. But really, it does really showcase your team in both game 1 and game 3, especially in game 1 where you just swipe Martin in less than 3 turns.
Oh no.
And that was really incredible feat, and you know you just.
I think this team is a surprise team for best of one first. So if my opponent knows what I'm kind of doing, I will be like thinking, okay, I should adjust a bit, like to play like how they know what I'm doing. Because recently I did a bit practice, and then someone have a Coco and Arcanic lead, so I didn't know that he know what I'm doing, so he just white gut and then just thunderbolt my Brewery, then my Earthquake.
That's a shame, but at least you know it's a lesson learned there.
Yeah.
And that I wish you all the best for your upcoming matches with in this tournament, and I hope to see you in top card.
Yep, hopefully.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Alan. Thank you.
And that's all, and we'll see you in the next round.